StockFeed, making stock analysis more accessible and easy to use for first-time traders. The Corona stock market crash in the first quarter of this year ended the longest bull market in history. Stocks plummeted to historic lows, market volatility skyrocketed, stay-at-home orders were enforced, sports betting was replaced with stock trading, and commission fees across all trading platforms were at zero. These events created the perfect storm for a surge in first-time traders. Since the beginning of this year, over 3 million new traders have opened accounts with the popular brokerage platform Robinhood. Other major online brokers such as Charles Schwab, TD Ameritrade, and E-Trade also saw new accounts grow by as much as 170%. Many of these new account holders are young investors who have never had the opportunity to properly learn how to analyze a stock's technical movements or research a company's fundamentals. They're in an unfortunate position where they lack the necessary skills for evaluating when and why to buy or sell a stock, a position that many of them don't have the time to learn their way out of. Yet they still want a way to participate in the market volatility that has come with the pandemic. These first-time traders looking for a tool to help them analyze when and why to trade a stock without having to learn the intricacies of analyzing charts and balance sheets are our target audience. The issue with the current lineup of popular free-to-use stock analysis tools is that they rely most heavily on chart patterns, ratios, and financial calculations to offer insights on a particular stock. These insights are put front and center for more experienced traders to use for their benefit. However, to many new traders, they offer little to no benefit. In fact, rather than look at these patterns and numbers, most new traders tend to shift their focus towards how the stock's price has performed over time and what news is currently being highlighted for that stock. These are the traders that need new tools that approach stock analysis in a manner that is less technical and more accessible. So our solution, our app, StockFeed, makes stock analysis more accessible and easy to use by focusing on the two things all investors understand: changes in the price of a stock and the news that correlates to that price change. Our app offers users a simple search feature that allows them to input a stock's name and a percent change in price. Our app then calls upon two separate APIs to calculate all the days on which the searched stock's price moved greater than or equal to the entered percent change in price. Each data is transformed into a button that the user can click to access a news feed for that stock. The news feed consists only of articles published around the day specified by the button. The user can then save and comment on these articles, allowing them to analyze what news drives the stock's price movement. The user can also see what stocks other users are searching for to point them in the direction of a company if they don't know where to start.
So when you open our link, you're met with this login page to StockFeed. And since we are a new user, we're going to be clicking the register button so that we can create a new account. Let's call our username Dave and make our password Dave123. We can confirm that password and create our user. So here now we will log into our account. Type in our username and password and log in. So here on our home screen, you can see we have a search feature and we also have a terminal running through the top with some popular stocks and ticker values, just so you have an overview of what's happening in the market. The main thing on this page is our news feed search. So here we have two containers. We have percent change in price, and we also have a stock ticker input area. So these are the two things we've focused on what's important to the average new retail trader. So you can enter in a change in price, let's say 5%, enter in a ticker value. So we want to look up a stock called NEO. So you'll begin typing it in and it'll start to auto-complete. So most people don't know exactly how to spell all the ticker values, and this will provide easy autocomplete suggestions that you can use. So we continue typing in, and here we see NEO Limited. So we'll go ahead and click on that, and we'll press search for news. So when you press search for news, you'll have a variety of dates that'll pop up if the ticker moved up a specific amount in this time frame. So here we have several dates, and you can click on any one of these. So on November 11th, 2020, the stock price of NEO went up 5 or more percent, and you look at the stories associated with that. And you can click on any one you want and go directly to the story. So here we went to this Barron's article about NEO and XPeng earnings. And this article is actually a perfect example of why our site is helpful. This article talks about earnings, and we entered in a 5% change for NEO, so we now know that earnings could possibly correlate to a price change and what the market sentiment was on that day, and what possibly drove the price up. So you're scrolling through, and suppose you want to save this article. You can click Save Article and type in a little note to yourself just so you're reminded of why you found this article interesting and why you might use it later. So you can say interesting earnings insight, and save your article. So now if we go to our profile feed, you can see that we have saved this article, we have a link to it and what we thought about it, as well as on our profile feed we have our normal user features like logging out, change password, changing username, and deleting the account. You can also go to the popular stocks page where you can see all the stocks that other users are looking at, and the different dates that they were looking at stories for. And here we can see that NEO was saved on 11/11 on 2020 by Dave. So ours is already on this page, and we can go back to our profile and say a little bit later you actually read the article and did not find it all that helpful. You can go ahead and edit whatever you said before and save that edit. So now that you have an updated insight of what you said, and a few weeks later you've already looked at this article and you've looked at several others and decided this one's no longer that important to you, you can go ahead and press this X right here and it will be gone. And you can go back to the popular stocks page and it will no longer be on the feed. And you can go ahead and begin that whole process all over again on the main screen of the newsfeed search. For our project, we used two third-party APIs. We used AlphaVantage to pull daily time series information about each search stock, which we used to create our date buttons. And additionally, we used Gnews to pull relevant news for the chosen date and stock by the user. Our backend uses PHP and MySQL to store and process all data related to the user and the articles and stocks they save. All data produced by the user on our site is stored across two relational tables. The first table keeps track of the username and passwords, and the second relational table keeps track of any articles saved by the user and any note they have about that article. We chose to host the site on Infinity Free for its ease of use, affordability, and modularity. For future improvements to the site, we would implement a more useful primary key in the backend to better keep track of the user's data across different tables. We would also add additional stock analysis tools using widgets from TradingView. And finally, we would want to upgrade to a premium version of our API, as our requests currently are limited to a certain number per day, which limits heavy usage.
Let's go!